Minnesota Vikings are adding 13 players to their practice squad. All right, welcome back to Onebar and Lupagus Show. I'm Lupagus. Minnesota Vikings have announced 13 players who they have signed to their practice squad so far. There's still 3 spots open. We're going to talk about who made it and who didn't. Before we do, be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the vids, drop hashtag LiftBridge in the comments for your chance to win 1 to $50 gift cards to LiftBridge Brewing Company's online store, who sponsors this video. All right, so Minnesota Vikings cut day was yesterday. Now today is practice squad declaration day, and the Minnesota Vikings have been busy making trades and just cutting some surprising players. But these are the guys they are keeping around on the practice squad. Let's start from the top. There's 13 that have been signed. There's 3 spots still open. Dan Chesina, wide receiver, special teamer, made it. Miles Dorn, guard Kyle Hinton, wide receiver Tristan Jackson, running back Bryant Kobach, linebacker William Quinku, tight end Nick Muse, quarterback Perry Nickerson, outside linebacker Janarius Robinson, defensive tackle TJ Smith, center Josh Sokol, and defensive lineman Jalen Twyman. Let's just go through a couple notes here. Oh, and they also signed quarterback Troy Gowan, Tay Gowan from the Eagles or Cardinals. He is also expected to sign with the Vikings, so that makes it 13. Tay Gowan, the only outsider added to this list. Otherwise, Vikings have kept their own. Let's talk about some of these players on here. Let's start with the ones I'm glad to see make it to the practice squad. Kyle Hinton, the guard. I thought his play was trending upwards late in camp, so I'm glad to see him stick around. I think the lights are coming on for that guy, and he maybe does have a future as a backup in this league. Wide receiver Tristan Jackson looked good in camp. Did have that bad drop against the Broncos, but a guy I'm very happy to see stick around as well. Janarius Robinson, again, this is basically his rookie season. He missed all last year. So when you're a 3-4 team, you got to have pass rusher. So keeping Janarius Robinson around made a lot of sense. And then Jalen Twyman. He's probably the guy I'm most excited to see make it. He was so good in that Raiders game early in the preseason. I think he overall had a good, solid camp. You know, he misses the entire year last year. So this truly is. I mean, he had no camp last year because he got shot. So to see him make the step, get on the practice squad this year, step in the right direction for Twyman, a guy I think has a lot of upside as a player. You know, guys, I was a little disappointed to see make it. Dan Chesina, I don't know what you need to see out of this guy. He's fast, but he's a special teamer who flies down the field and misses tackles, and you haven't really seen him do much as a receiver. So I don't see the point of keeping Dan Chesina around, especially when you got, you know, a Myron Mitchell still out there to be had. TJ Smith, I mean, I guess whatever. I wasn't nothing about TJ Smith stood out to me in camp or in practices. So a little bit surprised to see that as well. No one else really shocking except for maybe veteran Perry Nickerson, another cornerback who's been around the league for a few years. Hasn't never really done much with any time that he's gotten. So those are the ones that kind of surprised me. So a couple names not on this list just yet that I thought was kind of interesting. Obviously, guard Wyatt Davis. You know, everybody's still on the Wyatt Davis train, and he apparently hasn't figured it out yet enough to even be signed to the practice squad. Tight end Zach Davidson, a guy who looked pretty damn good at times in camp this year, this preseason, but he also has some bad drops, so a little bit up and down, but still I thought he did enough to at least get on the practice squad. And then wide receiver Myron Mitchell. There's another one. You know, a lot of great buzz about him in camp, in practices. They cut him early. I thought they did that so they could get him on the practice squad early. That hasn't happened. So, yeah, those are the ones that come to mind right away. And then there's no quarterback. I mean, we don't have a third-string quarterback right now. So the Vikings are probably going to add one. There's 3 spots left. We'll see, you know, who's out there. I believe Carson Strong was cut. So there is some options out there that they could find interesting. We'll see. We'll see what they decide to do in that regard. But, yeah, I think they'll add a quarterback. Who that could be. Maybe Trace McSorley. I don't know. We'll see. But 3 spots to fill. Right now, again, no huge surprises, I guess. I really thought they'd have 2 wide receivers on here. Maybe they still will when it's all said and done. But again, there's 3 spots left. This thing is not done. Okay, I guess I'm so used to not even thinking of Dan Chishina as a wide receiver. I don't even count him as a wide receiver. So technically, yes, they have 2 wide receivers. But I thought Myron Mitchell would have been the other one. So again, this is your practice squad so far. 3 more spots to go. Minnesota Vikings, who knows? Quasey's been going nutty. Maybe the moves aren't even close to being done at this point. So let us know what you guys think of the practice squad. I did a video earlier predicting it, thinking it was still a 10-man practice squad. I'm very embarrassed about that, so apologize for that. But I actually had, I think all my 10 guys were on here. So I guess yay for me. All right, so that's it. We'll be on Horned Up here in an hour and a half. Definitely check it out. Lots to talk about. Getting excited to interact with you guys on all the Vikings moves, cuts, and additions as this 53-man roster takes shape. All right, so that's it, guys. We'll see you in a bit. Keep your skull in your hole.